Today I decided I would share a date recipe, date square recipe that I made gluten-free. Starts out with dates. I've bought the bulk dates in the bulk section. I've bought them in a brick form, and I've also bought them in a loose form. So any style of date will work. So I'm going to take my dates and give them a chop and put them in my saucepan. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of dehydrated apricots that I made in my dehydrator, 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now I'm going to use my stove on like a medium temperature and slowly heat this up, and as it heats up it's going to rehydrate the dates and the apricots and make it into a paste. In the short time that it's taken me to collect my ingredients for the rest of the recipe, I'm already getting a paste. If you have chunks like I might have from the apricot, the fresh apricot that I dehydrated, I would just take a immersion blender and puree it a little bit more once it's fully hydrated. One of the ways that I've learned how to cut down on fat in a recipe is to use frozen bananas. So when my bananas start to get a little on the brown side, I put them whole in the freezer. So now this one's been sitting while I've been prepping, so I'm going to peel it. If it was fresh out of the freezer, I would run it under hot water. I have a garburator, so everything goes in the garburator. But you just give it a peel. So I'm looking in this recipe to replace 1/4 cup of fat, because I'm also using 1/4 cup of coconut oil. So I'm now going to put that into my bowl and move over to my other station. So to my 1/4 cup of banana, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of coconut oil. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to cream it. Time for a teaspoon of vanilla. So now I'm going to add 1/2 cup of coconut flour, 1/2 cup of chickpea flour, it's kind of like looking at making a crumble. 1/4 cup of freshly ground flax, 1.5 cups of oatmeal, and continue to mix. I decided to get my hands in there and help it along. So now we're going to put half of this crumble mix into the bottom of the pan, which I have ready and foiled. So figure out about half of your base. And then I usually use the back of a tablespoon to give it a press, to press it so it compacts. So I'll just start in the corner and press down. In the meantime, the oven should be preheating at 350 degrees. It's actually a really simple recipe, yet I think personally it's healthier than any of those like pre-made granola bars that you can buy. They say they're healthy, but I don't know. I don't know if you ever read the ingredients on the list of one of those. Okay, so here's the mixture that we have of the paste. So now I'm going to put that on top. I decided not to puree it. I'm hoping that it doesn't interfere with slicing the squares, because you can see that there's pieces of apricot in there that are fairly big. And again, I'm going to just use my spoon and spread out the paste. I like putting the apricots in because apricots have like a zesty flavor. These apricots are going to soften some more in the oven. I have a dehydrator that I use when I get a surplus of food, or if I get a good sale in the clearance section of the supermarket, and I can buy stuff on sale, I'll bring it home and I'll prep it and use it in different ways. So now I'm just going to put the rest of the crumble over top. And this I don't want to compress, I just want to leave it loose. I will give you the measurements of the pan. Sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. It's not a very big one. I have a small convection oven, so I wouldn't heat up my large oven. So I've got this running at 350 degrees. After 15 minutes at 350 degrees, you got it. I've been cooling the pan on a rack for about an hour. And by the way, the pan is approximately 8 by 8 inches. Now I learned to put the foil in the pan because I can then easily remove the squares for cutting. Boom, it's like that. And then I can just take it . Oh, it smells good. I want to eat them warm. I'll eat these as a snack. I'll eat them for breakfast. They're absolutely delicious. I got a plate here waiting for me. So, you know, it's a typical cut it in my case, I'm going to cut it in 9 squares, I guess. darn, I went and put the pan in the water. When really what you can do is you can then turn around once they're cut, put them back in the pan for easy access. So now, I don't know if you can see that, but ta-da! I have date squares that have fiber and nutrients galore. I will put the information on my blog. Okay, here I go. Very good. Lots of flavor. And I know I'm not eating a dessert. It's actually nutritious. Hope you enjoy. Please support my channel by giving it a like, sharing it, commenting, suggestions. You got suggestions? Ask me questions. I will also post in my blog the original recipe that I had, that I used to comprise my date recipe, date and apricot recipe. Have a great day.